Hello everyone, welcome to Far From Just Words. The topic today is how do we build businesses in Africa that last forever. For example, we have businesses like McDonald's that has been here like forever, KFC's, we have even petrol stations like Mobile, Texaco, Elf. We have those foreign. A lot of them are mostly foreign, we know. But how do we build our own businesses that last forever, even after we're done? That's a problem we have in our societies. But now, today, let me start with one thing. In order for us to get into how do we build, we have to talk about why do we not even have them in the first place, and how can we set an environment for those businesses to then grow and then stay forever. The number one thing that I'm going to mention today is the ownership of land. The ownership of land. Owning land is, let me say in a very funny way, it's a business that is not a business, but it's the one fully birthright of an African that can be handed over from siblings to children and anybody. It's very important. Number two, how do we build systems in place? How do we build systems in place that are supportive and are like incentive to small businesses and big businesses? People who have big capital or small capital. One of the things is the banking system. The banking system. How is our banking systems? How are the banking systems in our countries? For example, in Cameroon, we have an average banking system, but I do know countries that do better than we do, because I have some bad experiences with some friends and who kept money back home and didn't get to touch the money because they had been out for a long time and then the money disappeared. So we need systems in place that don't create fear, but gives them confidence and trust to be able to take those loans and repay them, or to keep that money for a future business or something, right? The banking system is one of them. The administrative system in that government, in that nation, has to be supportive to businesses. One of the best things that European countries and maybe even Asian countries do to business people, that I would not like to name a specific country, is we haven't asked ourselves why specific countries have specific rich people. Not just rich people, worthy people, which are billionaires, not just in cash. In assets too. It's something that is planned, even by the system in place. It's planned. We want these people. We want rich people so that they can create jobs for our people, so that they can create innovative system for our people. Which brings me to another point: creativity. A society that there is not creativity, that each time creativity is brought up is silent, is not a society that can grow. Creativity is one of the things that grows a society. Where is our own WhatsApp? Where is our own YouTube? Where is our own Twitter? Every time an African goes on one of those things and says something against the system in place of the Western world, what happened to the African stream? I remember there was a channel called like the African stream. What happened to him on YouTube? I think he was blocked because he said something against them. So where is our own systems in place? I won't lie. The YouTube has been very helpful to a lot of people and youth in Africa. Because without that, a lot of them, I don't know what they will be doing. Even me here included. But the thing is, how do we make those same things so that we also enjoy from those things? You get paid from YouTube, you get paid from Instagram, you get paid from the other one, Bumble, how do you call it? Tumble. You get paid. People get paid from different things. You get paid from Facebook. How do we create these things in place that is ours? We need the administrative system, the government in place to allow those things to happen. We need creators. We need incentives for those creators to go out there and find ideas, research ideas, and create those things. So that your name should also be on the map. Some people don't have two horns. Let's not get into a rabbit hole. But anyways, those are the things we have to put in place. Another point that we have to put in place is the town planning. The town planning, the architecture of every city and every town, every province, and should be in such a way that allows accessibility. Accessibility to what? Accessibility to the business and back to and fro from the business. Right? To and fro from what? Roads. Right? I mean, simple things like numbering your houses. House 1, house 2, street 1, street 2, things like that. We need it in most of our nations. We need addresses. I cannot. Can someone just sit and just say, like for example, just write down your address and give to someone and just appears in front of your door? Those things are hard. They are really hard back home. So I think those are one of the things that that will help businesses not only come into existence, but will last longer, even after the founders are not more, right? So, now, another thing is easing the collaborations between startup companies and big brands that have existed before now, right? How do we allow, we have those McDonald's and all those things. So how do we allow these people, or make sure that they do cooperate with our people in those nations in order to share ideas so that they too can be on their own and make sure that the businesses grow to those places? There is a lot of money making from all these webinars and all those things, and it even looks to an extent like extortion. We need things that can actually help people without them thinking of how to pay for this and pay for that. Things they can go for, especially if they have the passion to do them. Now, let's move on to how. One of the things that will allow businesses last long in every nation, and that is very important since we're talking about the African continent today, is the legal system. You have to choose a legal corporation that you can trust, that you know they're worthy, that you know they can protect your business even after the founder is no more, right? You have to plan. You have to plan with that legal system already in place, being that you're in a good system, the administrative of that government has put in place, or a private law firm or anything that has been in place. Because if that thing is already in place, then you and the legal mind or the lawyer, you're going to plan on how to transfer ownership to your next of kin. So what does that mean? Which means every business owner or a founder of a business that wants that business to last longer than even if he's no more, has to always write down a will. Put down pen to paper, write a will. It's very important. You have to also write down and plan the compensation that your next of kin is going to have when managing that business. Because some of them, when they get to manage those businesses, they actually think even the capital is theirs to eat from, buy cars from. They have to understand the system. They have to know you get a salary as everyone from that company. This enables that person to also understand that you're being paid as every employee, but then you are the head of the company in order to assure the company to last forever. It doesn't get bankrupt, right? And you have to, and during that period, I think before that, I think you have to identify and mentor your successor. Identify and mentor your successor. You have to know who do you want and mentor the person, right? Give your successor a kind of training, right? Train him, get him involved in whatever you're doing, right? Get him involved in your business. Get him involved in knowing your disaster. Like if something happens, is what to do. Get him involved to know. Make him feel like that business is part of his too. So that he doesn't get to squander the money. So he doesn't feel like I'm just getting, man, it's my dad's money. I'm just the guy. Yes. No. Make him feel like this part of his. And that if he lasts longer than this, his children are going to enjoy. He's going to enjoy forever. He's going to breathe fresh air. He's always going to be good. So you have to give him that sense of belonging, that sense of this is mine too. It's not just that. It's not just mom's own. It's yours too, right? Yeah. So there is also, and then there is also the fact that you have to delegate roles, right? Most times people back home have this thing when they hand over companies to the children or to their siblings. It's just the sibling, and the sibling chooses who he wants, and before you know, the whole thing is down. You have to delegate roles to different people that are coming there to manage that company, because if it doesn't work, they have consequences to bear. So you delegate roles to different people, different parties, apart from family, to make sure and to checkmate everything before it's done. And the last point is regular updates and regular checks, and right, you have to make sure that there's this regular checks, regular updates, regular how do you call the thing you say, your books, looking at your books, making sure that everything is right and all that. Yeah, so that is what I had to say today. I had this. See you next time. This is Far From Just Words.